Episode 7, Moving Target. And it's your boy Icon with a DC Amazon Prime animated TV review for you. And before we get started, hit the notification bell, like and or subscribe to my channel, and let's talk about a little Batman. And before we even get started, before I even say anything, why y'all do Floyd Lawton like that? Like in the beginning of the episode, it takes place with Barbara Gordon because she's a criminal defense attorney. So she's there to defend the criminals. And there was one specific criminal where she got him out on specific charges. And then her dad got upset because he was just like, oh, that person's guilty. We put him in jail for a reason. But she was just like, Dad, everybody who goes to jail isn't a bad guy. The cops do bad things all the time. And like, he's like, oh, they're doing good police work. And she's like, you think Bullock and the other guy is doing good police work? And he's just like, oh, the badge is this and the badge is that. But she was just like, but why is it that she's like, why is it that the cops get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to stuff, but then when it comes to criminals, like they're not allowed to have second chances. He's like, oh, cops make mistakes. And she was like, okay, these people make mistakes too. So two of them are going back and forth about it. And then when they come out of the courthouse, some random guy walks up to Jim Gordon and tries to shoot him. His cop detail, Montoya and them, they end up shooting the guy that tries to shoot Gordon. And then when they shoot the guy and then take him to prison, they're just like, oh yeah, that was Floyd Lawton. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Floyd Lawton would never walk up to your face and try to kill you. Floyd Lawton would have stood on a rooftop somewhere from like 90 blocks away, and he would have popped Gordon right between the eyes from a distance, and you would have never saw it coming. The fact that this guy just randomly walked up to him and tried to shoot him and failed, and they're just like, oh, this is Floyd Lawton. I was like, get the F out here. So anyway, so now Barbara's talking to her dad, and she's just like, oh, Dad, somebody's trying to kill you. There's a hit out on you. Bullock and Flask, they're just like, oh, let's start busting up some heads. And then he's like, no, because I'm Jim Gordon, damn it. And he was like, I don't play that shit. If anybody wants me, they can come see me right at my front doorstep. And Barbara's trying to talk him out of it. So while Barbara's trying to talk him out of it, it fails. Gordon's like, yo, I do what I want. And then she gets mad and she goes back to her office. While she's at her office, Batman shows up, and he's just like, oh, I know who's trying to kill your father. He's like, I've been investigating. And then she's like, all right, well, you know, you do that, and I'll try to get him out of the city. So they end up trying to take him to a safe house where it's him, it's Gordon, Barbara, Montoya, and two other police officers. And then we find out that there's a hit because Batman ended up he broke into the prison. He went into the prison, started whooping ass, and then after he whooped ass in the prison, he found out about the hit that was on Jim Gordon. So now he's going after Jim Gordon so he can try to stop the hit. So Montoya, Jim, Barbara, and the two cops, they end up going to like this random safe house, and then they get ambushed by a bunch of criminals because again, there's a hit out on him, and now people trying to kill him for the money. And this one particular villain, he was dressed, although he had on like the long trench coat and he had the hat on, he reminded me of the supersonic villain in Batman Beyond. And I don't know who this person was. He was very old school with how he talked. Like he talked from like he was from the Adam West Batman series, where every time he hit somebody, he kept saying "bam, pow, zoom," and I was just like, "What the fuck is that?" So they're going after them. They end up Bruce Wayne was building new housing in some place called Wayne Gardens. They hid in one of the houses in Wayne Gardens. And while they were in there, the bad guys showed up. There's a firefight now. Barbara and one of the cops go into the back, whereas like Montoya and Jim, they're in the front. Another young cop, he had got shot, so he was out for the count. And now like this supersonic guy with the weird mask, he's in front of the house, and him and his boys are trying to kill Jim Gordon. So they're killing him. Barbara ends up helping the cop fight him off. Like, you know, Gordon's doing his thing, and then Batman shows up and beats everybody ass. While he's fighting like the main guy with the weird costume, the whole time he's fighting him, the guy's just like, bam, pow, zoom. And then Batman punched him in the throat, and he was like, pow, bitch, and like knocked him out. So now everybody's out. He saves Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon's like, thank God, because now everything can go back to normal and people can stop worrying about me. And then he goes, you're wrong, Jim, because the hit wasn't for you. And then we find out, because see, I knew, when they had two police details with them, and as soon as they said like, oh, there's a hit out on you, I said, well, one of these two cops is going to try to kill Gordon to get the money. What I didn't know was, yes, one of the cops did betray them because one of the cops was trying to get the money. But it wasn't the cop trying to kill Jim, because what Batman told Jim, the hit was actually out on Barbara. And then the cop himself, he was just like, you know, sorry, Barbara, but it's too much money I got to collect. And right before he killed Barbara, Gordon showed up and shot him. And then like they took that cop to prison. So then after that, they ended up arresting him, arresting all the goons and everything. And then Batman went back to prison. He whooped the ass of the guy that called the hit out on Barbara and got him to stop. when Barbara found out who the guy was, it was someone who she had defended in prison. And when the guy came out and like saw her face to face, he was like, well, I called the hit off on you so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Just tell Batman to leave me alone. But then she was just like, I don't understand, because I helped you get out of prison. She said, I got you a good deal. You know, she said that I don't understand like why you would betray me like that after I tried to like help you get a good deal. And then he was just like, no, because he said you could have got me a better deal. He said like I may have done something wrong, but I'm not like these people in here. You put me in here with some of the worst of the worst. And he's like, I don't deserve that. You could have did better for me. So basically he was angry. But I'm like, but now you just proved why you belong in there to begin with. And Barbara was just like, you actually do belong here. And she left, which was funny because in the end, Barbara and Jim were both right, because Jim was trying to defend the police, saying that the police always do the right thing, but yet one of his officers was the one who tried to kill his daughter to collect the money. So Barbara was right about not all cops being good cops. But then at the same time, Jim was right, because he said you're defending these criminals and some of these people are just bad people and don't deserve to be defended. And then his point was proven because someone she defended tried to kill her. And then after that, Barbara basically put her head down in shame, because now she's rethinking everything that she thought about humanity. That was how the episode ended, and thank you for tuning in. So that was actually pretty powerful, because they created a situation where both sides presented compelling arguments, and in the end, they were both proven right and wrong at the same time, and Batman was caught somewhere in the middle of it. But it was a filler episode, but this is definitely a good filler episode. We're up to episode 7, so we got 8, 9, 10, 3 more episodes to go, and we'll see how this unfolds as we conclude the final 3 episodes of Batman Cape Crusader. So check me out all over social media. Check me out on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, where you can leave your questions, comments, and or concerns. Let me know what you thought about this particular episode of Batman Cape Crusader. How soon do we get... And that was another thing. Barbara was whooping a lot of ass in that house, and I'm just like, this girl has not been... We have not been told that this girl knows gymnastics. We have not been told that this girl knew martial arts. She took kung fu classes. Like, this girl just... Like, there's been no conversation about her having any sort of physical... I mean, at least on Batman the Animated Series, she was a gymnast, so her flying around and everything like made sense. This girl we've been told this girl has no training whatsoever, and every time she's put in a situation where somebody's attacking her, she whooping everybody ass, and in high heels and a pencil skirt. So I kind of got a problem with that, but like I said, share your questions, comments, and concerns, and we'll continue to talk about it. Like I said, so that was it, guys. Thank you for tuning in to episode 8 for the adventures of Batman Cape Crusader. Take care. Watch out for the weird villain with the weird mask. Until next time, we're out this bitch.